Hey everybody, how you doing? Mr. iYABA here. Today we are going to do a really quick workshop on collage, and Faith Ringo, who was going to be our inspiration for this. Now she's a child of the Harlem Renaissance, and she was inspired by the quilt making that was really started during the times of slavery when African Americans used quilts and their art to really help each other and design maps to help each other escape slavery, Harriet Tubman and those type of people. So we're going to jump in. We're going to talk about some of the things you need. We're going to need some scrap cloth. You could use your old clothes. The clothes don't fit anymore. Or if your mom and dad has cloth like that, you could use. You need some chalk, like for your blackboard, a pencil, a ruler, and a Sharpie. Some scissors, a tiny brush with some water to clean it, and some white paint, paper, and a canvas, or a piece of cardboard if you don't have one. First thing we're going to do is we're going to draw out what we are going to be collaging, and that's the main image. Once you do that, you're going to cut it out like this here. I don't know if you want to come closer so you can see it. See it here? This is going to be a main image we work on. Once we get this main image, we're going to start taking pieces of it. We're going to take it and we're going to cut it apart and separate it into its big shapes. Kind of like a puzzle. Once you do this, the very next thing you're going to do is you're going to start deciding from the, your scraps material what it'll be like. For example, let's make the hat out of this. So we take the hat, we put the hat on here, take our Sharpie and create a pattern. And then we take this pattern, cut it out, and we end up with our hat. Now you do that for basically all of these shapes. You put them on a different piece of material that you choose, and you go until you have all of these pieces cut out. You start to put your puzzle together. And one of the first things you want to do before you do that is you want to be able to set up your background. So you go to your canvas. I'm going to put them outside. So what you do with that is you're using the colors that are basically in that. So since I know blue is in the sky, I'm going to use this sort of blue plaid material here. And then for my grass, I'm going to use this material that has other colors, but you can see the grass. And you have this sort of frilly thing in here so you can kind of see what looks like it. So I'm going to cut this down to the size that I need. And this we get here. Now, the way we're going to attach all these things is you can either use your hot glue gun, or you can use tacky glue, or they have another thing they call fabric glue. Something else that's going to be really handy is an iron that you can have your parents help you supervise, or if you can be very careful, you could use, because you're going to need to really iron all of your material nice and flat so that it cuts easier and so that it lays down easier when you start putting your collage together, especially if they have really huge wrinkles. But once you do that, then the rest of it is really putting your puzzle together. So let's start with his sneaker. You want to come in nice and close so you can see exactly what's going on. I want you to really, really see exactly what's going on with this part. On top of his sneaker, you're going to put his pants, then his shirt. You're going to put that arm, one arm here waving. It's like this guy. You're going to put his head up there. You put his hat. And the last thing you're going to do, you're going to put the second arm in there. Now, the background is completely up to you and your imagination. I'm going to say that he's in his backyard and his house is kind of there in the background. And again, with everything else, circles, basically a rectangle, everything can be broken down to their basic shape. So his house is basically a rectangle with a triangle on top. We're going to put that there. And then the last thing we're going to do is the circle, the first shape we all learned, the circle. And we're going to put that there in the sky. Almost finished. We go back to our Sharpie, and that's when we start to put in details. Now, if you notice, when we cut the hands out, we didn't cut the fingers out, because we can go in and just use our Sharpie and give him some fingers. We can also go in and do that and give him a chin. These little earlobes over here. We can give him some eyes and a nose and a mouth. And that's when this comes in. The very last detail is you want to give him his eyes. And you want to give him his smile. Now all the rest of this is completely up to you and your imagination. You want to give him some hair, or you want to make your favorite sports team logo on his shirt, or a peace sign, because I love peace, so I'm always putting peace signs everywhere. And you just finish up all his details. Maybe put his seam in his thing, you put the sole on his sneakers over here. Make him in some Nike sneakers. And again, everything is completely up to you. What you put down. If you want to use the glue gun to tack them all down, or you want to use tacky glue, that's completely up to you. But once you've designed it like this, then the very next step, give him some eyeballs here so he can see us. Some eyebrows so his friends won't make fun of him. Once you get this far, you've done all your details and you have your guy. The very next thing you do once you get here is, again, to your hot glue, and then you start to just stick things down. You can take it back off now, and you start to thick them down one by one by one. The way this is relative to can relate to a quilt is, if you have you and your friends, you guys could do several of them, and then you put them together to tell a story the same way a quilt was used to tell the story of African American history in this country for years. All right? Thanks you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon for another quick workshop from Mr. iYABA. You guys enjoy your day. And remember, even though things are different, you can adapt and learn how to work inside of that system. See you soon. Bye-bye.